12th lecture of the calligraphy course. Common radical buso. Hello, classmate. I am the main teacher of the calligraphy course. Jiangsu welcomes you to the 12th lecture. In this class, we will continue to explain the writing of 4 common radical buso. Calligraphy is a major feature of our traditional Chinese culture and another brilliant pearl of Chinese art, which is idioms. Most idioms have 4 characters, and 3-character idioms, a large part of idioms, have been passed down from ancient times. It represents a story, and a story today. I will talk about an idiom related to Wang Shizi. It is said that in the Jin dynasty, Shi Zhuan, the jewel of Shi Jian, the grand preceptor, was 28. She was pretty and smart. The grand preceptor, she heard that Wang's nephews were all handsome. He wanted to marry into the Wang family. And Wang Xiang was also happy to facilitate the marriage, and asked him to choose any of his nephews and nieces. One day, the grand preceptor, she sent a confidant to the Wang mansion to choose. The guest arrived at the east wing of the Wang's house after seeing several candidates, and thanked the Prime Minister. Wang Dao rushed back to Shi Mansion, replied to the grand preceptor that seeing is believing. The young men in Wang's family are all excellent, and they were handsome. Hearing that, they were coming to choose, all dressed up carefully. Only one young man showed his belly, and was lying on the east bed, as if he hadn't heard of it at all. Normally, if he didn't take it seriously and exposed his belly, which is very impolite for guests, he was definitely out. But the Western Grand Preceptor happily said that he would choose him. He will definitely be a good son-in-law, because he admired his carefree attitude and informal and not snobbish. The young man who lay on the east bed with his belly exposed is Wang Shizi. Shi Taifu came to the palace. He saw that the man was, and talented he was. He gave a betrothal gift. He was a son-in-law, and happily married her daughter Zixuan to him. This is the story of the happy son-in-law. So, the east bed became a synonym for son-in-law. After Wang Shizi and Shi Zhuan got married, they learned from each other. The two's calligraphy skills were significantly improved. They had 7 sons and 1 daughter. All achieved high achievements, achieved great success, especially the youngest son Wang Xianzi. We have talked about it before. He and his father Wang Shizi were called the 2 kings. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's talk about double people. The writing of the radical, of the single radical. Let's start with the radical of single person. The single radical should pay attention to the connection. Let's write it first. Diagonal. The stroke should be strong, and the arc should not be too big. When the vertical and the diagonal connect, gently touch the middle. Don't press the whole head inside the left stroke.
Finish with a vertical stroke.
Let me demonstrate again. Diagonal.
And gently connect.
Or leave a little space and don't connect it. We call this kind of connection method as virtual connection. It means empty.
If it's a stone step,
it's like this situation. Press the stroke inside and connect firmly. This is called solid.
Then in the single person radical, this connection method is wrong.
Everyone pay attention. Now I choose the character Zhu in Zhu Cheng Gong
to demonstrate.
Slant stroke. Vertical stroke should not be too long. Short horizontal. Tilt. The vertical should be higher and intersect in the middle. This vertical stroke should be upright and strong.
short. And the foot is strong and stretched.
Pay attention to the height of left and right.
The left one looks shorter and the right radical is higher. The next radical is double.
So on the basis of the single person radical,
There is a small left falling stroke.
or a dot, which is more. Pay attention to the length change of these two strokes
And the position. The first stroke is short. The second stroke and its start.
should be on the same vertical line.
Start writing, press horizontally, and tilt it. This is very important.
Some students write this double vertical stroke.
They write it like this. The strokes are written well. But the positions of the two beginnings are misplaced. Pay attention to this. Let's write it on a vertical line so that everyone can understand better. Okay,
The vertical stroke is closer to the inside.
and the starting point of the left stroke is on the line. We choose Jugong Palace. Let's use the Calligraphy inside. Push the horizontal and slowly close it, aligning the top and bottom. Fade out. Don't write the left slanting stroke to heavy. Write the left first, then the horizontal. Notice the horizontal to make the character narrower.
Quickly hook back and hook back quickly. It's also to narrow the shape of the character.
Finally, widen and lengthen this knot.
Okay. The next radical is Fanwen.
The first stroke of the radical is straight with little bend down, right? Short. The second stroke is a short horizontal line.
The starting position is below the short left stroke.
And tilt upward slightly. Short.
The angle and position of these two strokes are important.
The position of the next stroke is on the left side of the short horizontal. And a short left. Pay attention to a line here. Don't write it too long. Finally, the starting point of the na should not touch the previous pi. Extend the na. We should pay attention to these places. Okay.
This starting point, and this focus are close to the center line. We should pay attention to these.
If we don't pay attention, we often write the stroke look like they have no structure. For example, let the left falling stroke and the horizontal stroke
On the up part, and
at the end of the stroke.
it makes the character look fat.
And the center is empty. The character should be contracted in the center. The space is small.
Let's take the successful V in Ju Cheng Gong as an example.
The double side. The mountain radical. And be thin. The strokes should be light. Pay attention to short stroke.
The space in the middle.
Na angle.
The next radical is qian.
The radical of qian and fan.
Also pay attention to the position of these strokes.
The first stroke. The direction of the first stroke is straight and start from the lower part of the stroke. The horizontal and diagonal stroke should be short. The next one starts from the left. Vertical, the final reverse stroke. The position of the reverse na higher up a bit, and the point of the na foot should be elongated. Finish the stroke with the dot. Let's write it again. Pay attention to the position of these strokes. Write it tightly. Vertical and horizontal, or antipole stroke. The position of this reverse and the lowest point of the stroke, the position of the horizontal stroke is higher.
Let's take the character Yu and Ju Chenggong as an example.
As an example, okay, on the left, pay attention to the height relationship. The left is lower and the right is higher. The strokes should be shorter.
Pay attention to the alignment of the mouth.
The two dots above the mouth should not be big. The radical of qian is close to the left. Both the left and right parts.
Today we continue the last lesson. We learned for common radical characters.
When practicing, be sure to put the radical in a Chinese character. Practice.
Okay, that's all for today's class.
See you next class.